Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Claire. I've got a lovely project to work on now. A good friend of mine has asked me to create her a pebble painting. So a beautiful grassy area, a sky, but in pastel colours, and then to represent her and her three children and her dog with pebbles. So really lovely project, really pale pastel colours, which a bit different from what I would normally use. So really, the colours I've mixed up are beautiful. So really excited to get started. So let me show you the colours. I have here just a beautiful selection of pastel colours. I've mixed them all myself. I've custom made them with some white because they were all too bright. Even just for example, this one, this is Venetian Rose by Amsterdam, but it was just too bright. So I've added some white just to tone it down. So they're all pinks, purples, blues, greens and a yellow, but with all of them, every single one has got white in just to dull it down. For my grassy area, I've got two shades of green and a yellow, and I want some pink flowers. Now, my friend's favourite colour is pink, so I just want some pink coming up through the grass. Then I'm going to have a sunset or sunrise. So I'm going to start off with the sort of orangier pinks, and then go into the pinks, the purples, and then I've got three shades of blue. And I'll add some white as well. So I want 3 little cups layered for the sky. And then I want 2 little cups layered for the grass. Now for the grassy area, I really want to have some cells. So I'm going to put in a drop of silicone or coconut milk hair serum in each of the colours that are going to be in the grassy area. Because it will just add, the cells I think will just make it look a bit textured, a bit more like there's some grass, some flowers, some movement. Whereas the sky, because this is going to all be flip cups, the sky won't. The sky will hopefully just have a really elegant flow to it, where I've managed to, hopefully going to manage to tilt the paint around. So let's do my sky first. So just have a little look. So I've got way too much paint because I'm only going to be layering up 3 cups, but that's fine because I wanted to make sure I had enough. So I think on the bottom cup, I think I might just go with the pinks. And then maybe on the top cup, the blues and the purples, and the middle cup will be a combination. I think that might be how I'm going to do it. Right, let's start with the bottom cup. The consistency, they're reasonably runny, so they're all mixed with PVA glue and water. They're mixed 2 to 1, so pouring medium to paint. So you can see quite runny. And to encourage the colours to mix a little bit in the cup, I'm going to be pouring up quite high, and they're just going to start to blend in the cup. If I wanted totally separate, I wouldn't do this. I would only I would layer them, I would pour them down the side of the cup, but for this painting, I'd like them to blend, I'd like them to mix, so it looks as sort of natural as possible. So that's my first cup done. Let's now do a cup with just, I don't want just purple in a cup. I want blues and purples. And I've got some white as well. So there's going to be, quite a lot going on in this cup. Right, there's my top cup. Right, the middle cup, I'm going to get rid of the Venetian Rose, so the orangier colour and the really darker blue. Let's get rid of those. So I've got more of just the middle colours. So now let's layer up my 2 grassy cups. I'm going to layer these up, I think probably the same as each other. In fact, no, why would I do that when I've got a chance to make them different? Let's make them different. I'm using a 30cm board. It's from a shadow box frame, so it fits into a frame. You can see, yeah, it's just an MDF board. It's got a clip on the back, and I've put some frog tape on the back to try and keep the back as clean as possible. I've done a few of these now, and you might think that the board is going to warp, but actually it doesn't seem to. So I haven't, I'm happy using just a wooden board. I've primed it with some gesso. Having said that, I don't think I need it, but I've done it anyway. So they're going to be flip cups. So I'm just thinking I might put a little bit of tape along the edge just to try and keep the paint on once I've flipped the cups on. So I'll just get some frog tape. And I'm just going to stick it on the edge here. So it will just stop all the paint just sliding off to start with, just so I can be a little bit more in control of the paint. So I'm going to do flip cups. I'm going to flip them down the side here. I've got to hold on to the bottom because I've only got one big yogurt pot underneath. So if I tip, I've done this before. I've tipped it here, and the whole painting has the paint just slid off. The board moved. So I'm going to try and hold the board still. So this is the one without any pink. This is the one with all of the colours for the sky. Oops. Great, right, they're all on. So now I'm going to just tip it out so that the paint goes this way and my cup will go this way. And I'm just tipping the board because I can feel that the paint's just going to want to shoot off that way. Now I've got a little bit of paint left in every cup, so I've just got the opportunity of doing a few ribbons if I want to. There's a very, very stark line there. So I'm going to introduce a bit more of this pink up a bit higher, I think, with a few ribbons. Right, so far so good. I'm not going to torch it yet because obviously there's silicone in the green and I don't want the cells to appear yet. So I'm just going to tilt it backwards to get that edge covered. Right, let's tilt it now away. Interesting, I've got a lovely line of pink right at the bottom there. You can see that I layered these 2 cups differently because I obviously ended up with a lot of the darker green on one cup and then the lighter green on the other cup. And actually that works well because the darker green is at the bottom, so that will be in the foreground, which will work really well in terms of the perspective. Not that I really need perspective because this will be totally abstract. Let's torch this to start with. I'm just a bit disappointed with this grass. There's not much difference in colour. The cells appearing, but not loads. So I'm just going to add a few more little ribbons of paint, and then I'll tilt it again and torch it again, just to see if that can just help to break it up a little bit. Yeah, that's looking prettier already. Let's torch that, see what happens now. So this has turned out a little bit different to how I expected, but I absolutely love it. It's just quite simple. This grassy area, oh, sorry, I'll get out the light. Look at these beautiful, beautiful cells. They're really subtle. I'm used to, I think, getting quite dramatic cells, and that's because there's a lot of contrast between my colours normally, and there isn't a lot of contrast here. These are quite subtle. I love these little streaks of the colour going through, quite wavy. And just look at these cells on the horizon. So the silicon, the oil in the green, you can see it's just pushing through up into the pink. So it almost looks like some flowers or some plants or a meadow on the horizon. Really like that. And then the sky is just so peaceful. It's just so delicate looking. I've got just a little tiny bit of purple and more pink, which is what my friend wanted. And then this really beautiful sort of wispy sky at the top. Really pretty, almost slightly stormier at the top, and then the sunset and the grass. So really happy. I might add a few little flowers down here when this is dry, but I think to do anything else now while it's wet would be a mistake. I think I'm going to leave it, let it dry, and then decide what to do next. It's now totally finished and I'm over the moon. I love it. The colours are just so relaxing. Really happy with the pastels. As you can see, it's got a white frame and a white mount, and I've used silver for the writing. Let me show you up close the writing. I've used my Cricut machine. It's silver, but it's quite a dark silver, so I think that's perfect. I was going to use a black, but that would have just been far too dark. So my friend wanted it to say, "Together we have it all," and with the names, her mummy and the children and the dog's name. So I've stuck the pebbles on with a hot glue gun, and then I've just used a black Posca pen to create the arms and the legs. The actual port is so pretty. It's just so soft. I love this white line going through it. I thought the white was going to take over, but it hasn't. It's just subtle. And look at the little cells going into the pink. So pretty. So it just looks like some bushes or some trees or some plants on the horizon. There's a little bit of texture to it, you can see, and I think that's just where some of the oil was on the surface of the painting. Yeah, so happy, really excited to show this to my friend to see what she thinks. Great, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of it. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like it, and take care everyone. Bye.